All right, all right. Shout out to the family.
Yeah.
It's Friday night. It is Friday night. It is Friday night. Oh man, we're gonna have a great show tonight. We got a powerful topic for y'all tonight.
Absolutely.
So Red Pill is running a little late. He'll be here in about 2 minutes. He'll be
Yes.
here in about 2 minutes, y'all. So why don't y'all load on in, get comfortable. Get your juice, your sea moss, whatever you got to get,
That's right.
your
That's
vegan
right.
popcorn.
That's right.
Before I actually bring on my guest, I want to once again give a shout out because the brother's going to be in Georgia tomorrow, giving out some free herbs, so
Ooh.
and honey. So shout out to KT. He's going to be at the Yellow Door tomorrow. 25. The address is 2556 Wiggin Street in Lithonia, Georgia. So if y'all in Georgia and y'all interested in getting some free herbs along with some free honey drops, make sure y'all check the brother KT up in Georgia, and that's gonna be tomorrow, from 4 to 7. All right, family. All right, all right. With that being said, while we wait on Red Pill, I want to take this time to welcome to the platform one of the guests tonight, one of the sharpest brothers out there, making a name for himself everywhere on the internet. My brother Sharif Bey. Welcome back, Sharif Bey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's the brother?
Indeed. Good to have you back on here. Sharif,
Like,
I heard, word on the internet is that today is a portal day, the 1212 portal.
yeah.
Yeah,
See, I mean, there's so many.
they're-
Okay. Wow.
mm,
See, you jump right into it, bro. There's we have a saying in the Moorish science of America: we measure time by cycle ages, and the gate to every age we deem a milestone in the journey of the race.
uh,
Right? So if you really deeply study that idea, that thought,
mhm,
time is or should be a tool, not an environment you live in, but a tool you manipulate.
mm, mm,
So you hear people say, well, that ain't the right calendar. We should use this calendar. We should use that. Man, I use any calendar I choose
right. Okay. That's
because time, right? Okay, there's parts of us, our flesh,
mhm,
that live inside of time. You get it?
mhm, mhm,
But consciousness is outside of time.
mhm, mhm,
That said, time is like this in my hand.
mm,
If my point of perception is coming from the part of me that's outside of time, now time's an object I can manipulate. So I
mm,
want to learn to practice that, which is now kind of is segueing into what we want to talk about. I want to practice that.
mm,
That means if I want to use the Gregorian calendar for a specific purpose, I use the Gregorian calendar. If I
mm,
want to use the lunar calendar, I use that for a specific purpose too.
mm,
Every day is a door. Every day is a stargate, brother. It's just where's that door going to lead you to?
mm.
Some doors are big, some are small. 1212 is a big door.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? 1212 is a big door. If our mindset is in the framework or the space of numbers as living things, numerology,
Mhm,
then it's a big door. Some of us aren't quite speaking that language. Our minds aren't really attuned to that vibration. Maybe they're attuned to astrology. It's all still related anyway, but it's how, the different disciplines are just how we approach it, and all roads lead to the top of the mountain. You,
mhm.
you, you get what I'm saying?
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some of our people, that are really drawn to numerology. Like, it's how we learn. Some people learn, I'm a visual learner.
Mm, mm,
So in high school, I did so in algebra, but algebra was a prerequisite for geometry. Man,
mm,
I went, man, my geometry, super easy. Why? Because I'm looking at numbers as designs. I'm looking at numbers as, you get it, symbols, and that's how I learn. You see what I'm saying? So
mm,
some people may learn better with numerology, some with astrology, some with hermetics, some with you know what I mean?
mm.
That said, 1212 is a big door, especially those who deal with numerology.
Indeed.
Maybe not so big for other people.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that perspective and that breakdown.
Mhm.
Love that.
Yes, sir.
Is there any numbers that, outside of your knowledge of them, just a number, the way it's shaped, you resonate with it? Some people you just resonate with. Is there any numbers that you just resonate like outside of the knowledge? You just always seen it, or if you go to the casino, you always play it. Is there a number that just it rolls with you throughout your life? Is there
Oh
one?
yeah, number five. Always.
Five. Okay. Okay.
For me, always five, bro. And yeah, five always did it for me. Like
Mm,
no matter where I went, when I was a young child, when I was learning how to draw,
mm.
you know, my martial arts system, when I was in the street, so-called gang banging, all of it, you know, and that's what stuck with me. That it literally like a signature number. You know what I mean?
No, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, that one stuck with me, bro. So five is a big deal for me, and because it's stuck with me so much. It's like when things like that stick with you and follow you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a school teacher, like the old school teachers pointing at something at the chalkboard. It's like you got to pay attention to this.
Mm.
There's something in this for you.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's something in this for you. So, you know, it's something to really focus on. Like, okay, I need to pay attention to this. Why is this keep popping up?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And don't look at its surface.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like really, 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 you know, explore it. You know, five. Okay, what's the first thing you think of visually? Well, I think of a pentagram. Okay, pentagram has 5 triangles,
Mm-hmm.
and right,
Mm-hmm.
and then a pentangle in the center. That's what it has. You add up all the 5 angles on the ends, it's 72 degrees.
You know, and also, brother Sharif, since we're talking about occultism tonight, and I'm giving Red a couple of minutes before we really get into it.
Yeah.
But why is the pentagram like? They always say the pentagram is very important when it comes to manifesting reality, and that's why they want people to think it's so evil. What is it about just the design, so the shape of the pentagram that makes it so important when it comes to manifesting in this realm?
All right.
And you belong, you know shit we don't know. You got, man, Sharif had me get this little ass book, man. I don't know how much I paid for this, but Sharif be put this order some shit.
That
man.
book right there is a
man
super. Is it, brother? Hold on, before we go any further, that book's crazy, ain't it?
Insanely crazy. And it's a little read. I just got it. I have it. I'm like probably about 80% done because it's so small. But wow, woo, wow.
Yeah, that book is serious.
But go ahead, brother. Yeah.
So again, and you know, you all know me well enough to know that, you know, I want to take a topic, even a high, lofty topic, but make it practical for people so you can really understand. That said, you know, the pentagram, the symbol of the pentagram is so important, especially in quote unquote occultism, for this one simple reason, and it's almost too simple for you to believe it. It's 5 appendages: arm, leg, arm, head. It is a geographic symbol of man himself. And so think of it this way, people. If I can change this, change your mind. If I can get you to think the way I want you to think, it really is this simple. Listen, people, if I get you to think the way I want you to think, your mind is going to now broadcast my signal. Now, your mind and your thinking are going to create conditions. Conditions are not tangible. Conditions are intangible. But the conditions shape the environment that allow my idea to manifest. You see how easy that was?
Right. No. Yeah. Shit.
Simple. But that's how it works. That just in a simple sense, how occultism is not just practical, but it's practiced around you every day. Every day.
Wow.
All we got to do is just, again, like I said, if I can get you to think the way I want you to think, then your mind is going to broadcast my signal. And your mind in broadcast that signal is going to create the conditions favorable to the manifestation of my idea.
Powerful. And I want to welcome Red. Red, can you hear me? I think your mic is on mute. Can you hear me, Red? Yeah. While Red gets that together, For those who ask, the name of the book is Psychotronic Magic by Joseph Jameson.
Yep,
So,
Joseph Jameson.
Yeah, for those who want to know the name of it.
Mm-hmm. But listen, just be ready.
No, for real. we getting ready for this radionics run next year, family. So I'm just getting my material together for that, But that's a topic for next year, and we'll find out a lot about that in the near future. Ray, can you hear me yet?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
I was having a
there it
little
is.
bit of technical difficulties, but
Okay.
lo and behold, we are here in the building.
Yes, sir.
Peace to the gods,
Peace to the
to
God.
the family, peace to everybody, man. I'm happy to be here. I know I might have missed out on some good conversation, so I would love to get caught up on anything that I might have missed out on.
Yo, brother Rich, Red earlier, Red sent me a link to something that basically segued into something we were just talking about, and that was time.
Right, concept of time.
Yeah, bro.
And the fact that we are looking at time completely out of whack. Shout out to Blue Pill, Jose Arguelles always comes up in the conversation. Time in the technosphere. Yeah. He is somebody who was basically instrumental in the theology or the theosophy of the law of 44, the numerogram that Blue Pill was able to channel. And it was doing the research for the Blueprint 322 in 2009 or 10 that we came across time in the technosphere. Fast forward to where we are today, where we get into the research of Nick Land, accelerationism, and we talk about what they call retro causality, right? Retro causality, the fact that time is not linear, the aspect of you affecting the past by affecting the future. Retro causality, the fact that the future is creating the past, right? That not that theory, that theorem that shows itself so many times in cinema. It shows up in Bishop and Cable. That's through the X-Men series. It shows up in Back to the Future. It shows up in Interstellar. It shows up in Tenet. It shows up in it showed up all throughout the Marvel universe when they introduce you to the multiverse. But we're speaking about affecting the past by changing the future. That's why they're taking the books out to school. That's why they don't want to see the rise in certain movements and whatnot. That's why they are doing this whole anti-campaign against Moors and other people who are doing what? They are affecting the past by changing they're affecting the future by retroactively changing their past. They're resetting and rewriting and recoding whatever these people had in plan and whatnot, because similar to what they showed us in Hollywood in the movies and whatnot, the way it's like Adjustment Bureau, the way that they have these realities or these quote unquote these agreed upon realities, in order for them to even carry out, everything has to go according to plan. So if we remember, every time in George Lucas's movies and in the Spielberg movies and in the movies that they put out about the future, we were not there, right? So everybody got on code, everybody got on point. They play dumb like they don't know what's going on, but they erased you from the future. They didn't explain to you how that happened. They just was like, nah, we ain't see him.
No, that's real. That's very real.
Wait, you mean the museum over there that had the Timberlands and
right.
the hoodies, the black hoodies from that trial with Trayvon Martin, I think, from the Earthling. Yeah. They want to have you in the museum frozen like Han Solo and General Zod. So we were banned from space, and then along came Cosmic Slop. Then along came Billy D. Colt 45, Jerry Curl, you know what I mean? Curl bang wearing ass nigga. You know what I'm talking about? He came to the future in a Millennium Falcon, and they were like, yo, it raised. My father told me that raised a cultural argument about matter. People were leaving the theater like, wait a minute. Well,
no, for real.
Where's the rest of the where does the rest of the Jive Brothers?
Yo, for real. What your brother, Red Pill just touched on something that's huge. And I want to start I want to pick up where he left off and then work a little bit backwards. Yo, remember the after our brother Chadwick Boseman passed, and they did the other Black Panther movie, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how many people protested against that movie, and how many people had negative? I'm talking Europeans. They were highly upset over that movie for the very reasons that Red Pill just said. They were like, there could never be a Wakanda. Those people, because they understood, even if it was subconscious, that the portrayal of people that look like you and me, that had a society so advanced that they understand that shaping the state of mind. Man, listen, I said it before Brother Red got on. Here we go. Outside reality is nothing but the unfolding of inner perception. Right. And because of that, and the fact that in the higher dimensions, all possibilities coexist simultaneously.
Facts.
So when you start to look at, like I said earlier, Brother Red, what I said, I said I'm not gonna pigeonhole myself in a particular calendar or particular way of measuring time, because for the part of us that's outside of time, time is an object we hold. We can manipulate and do with it what we will. And we need to start living this way in a practical sense, even if it's small and incremental, right? That said, all possibilities coexist. On my page on Facebook, I have a page dealing with the human body as the new tech and the emerging tech, right?
Right.
And I'm constantly publishing and putting out and posting things relative to new advancements related to biotech, right? That said, there's a number of papers already written that are strongly suggesting that actions in the present can literally change the past.
Beyond,
yeah, Red.
Beyond that, what, like Nas said, it was written.
Was.
The fact that it was written means more in 2025 than it might have in 2022.
Right.
Because in 2025, it was written means that it can be accessed. It can be accessed means that it could be, quote unquote, the data that it has or it is, that data could now be utilized in real time for about 100 different use cases.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. So President Trump, about 2 weeks ago, he signed a bill. There was a monumental bill. This was a directive that he signed a few directives, and we'll speak about that in a minute. But he brought all of these quote unquote people together and signed one of the biggest bills of his presidency. And this was to open up the archives of the science, biology,
yes,
research, right? Not the internet slop, not the white papers that Harvard and MIT. No, the collective research of all of these labs, like the same labs that they show you, Hawkins Labs and Stranger Things, the labs from Project Hero, all of these labs, wet labs, right? The labs that were in Henrietta Lacks' jacket or in her dossier, right? All of these labs, they just passed a thing that said there's a directive where they are going to train all of these new supercomputers that they're building, these humongous data centers with this real-time data, and they are going to be giving it real scientific data, real life, all of this bio genomes. They're gonna be feeding it the genomes. They're gonna be running the genomes through the quantum, through GPT-8 and all of that. So for those of us that are here that have access or that need access or that want access or are sitting on all type of stuff, in the year 2025, you're able to do more with that data than you ever was able to do before on this on a budget, of course, right? You're able to do things on like a 100, 500, a 5,000. If you stretch your budget, you'll stretch the possibilities and the probabilities of the millions of realities that exist out there.
Come on now.
Right?
That's
You'll
right.
be able to access the millions of the realities that exist just depending on how much you are investing in that experience.
Red, let me tell you this, and we're about to we haven't really even started the show tonight,
right?
But we're about to start right now. But I mean, I'm not gonna keep everybody too long. I'm on myself. I have to do something in the morning, so we're gonna get started. But this is what happens when you just flow with it and you have a good time with the knowledge. So, yeah, like Red said, one thing I want to say, two things I want to say. I'm gonna save the Trump because I had a Trump statement I was gonna make, but I'm gonna say, I love beating up on Trump. Me and Red, Blue, we beat up because these niggas love Trump so much. That's their daddy. So we love beating up on Trump. It pleases me. It gives me great pleasure to beat up. Just like it gives me pleasure to beat up on the Democrats for those who love. But it gives me pleasure. A lot of niggas thought they got free by supporting Trump, and I don't know. But anyway, one thing I want to ask before we get started with the topic, which is a very powerful topic. Shout out to everybody. We got almost 1,000 people in the room. When we talk about time and we talking about existing outside of time, quick question I have for you, for Brother Sharif, is how would you, because one of the most important aspects of ourselves is our higher self that exists outside of time. So being encased in the avatar, if we could describe a certain relationship we have with a higher self, Sharif,
yes, sir,
what would you describe it as? And let me give you some options. Like a husband-wife relationship, a parental relationship, a child relationship, a friendship, a business relationship. What all the relationships we know we exist in this realm. What example would you use from this realm to describe that relationship we have with our higher self?
I got it. Here it is.
Come on.
Here it is.
Come on.
It's not even two people.
Come on.
It's one person. It's the fentanyl head. It's the fentanyl head.
I don't get it. What you mean?
Follow me.
Okay.
The fentanyl head that literally don't got it. He just lives to get high.
Right.
His options and parameters of life are this big.
Right.
Lives to get high, and everything he does, everything he thinks is just towards that end. Even sleep is it's a consequence of in between highs. You see what I'm saying? And but now every so often he gets a glimpse of the king. You understand? And there's a part of him that wants to be that king so bad. He even starts imitating being kingly to the best of his ability. Right? Never, ever realizing that he already is the king. And all he has to do is walk from the street corner he lives on to the palace.
Amazing. Wow.
Listen, so follow me.
Yeah.
All of you have experienced this. All of you have experienced this, right? Something that was difficult. You got a problem you're trying to solve. Difficulty, frustrating. And all of a sudden there was a switch. And you're like, oh, and everybody, when you have those aha moments, right?
Yeah.
And in that aha moment, it all comes to you in an instant, and you realize, and you can't go back to the ignorance. You're just like, yo, and to the point where you literally like, oh, right? We've all experienced it, right? Let me tell you exactly what that was. In geometry, follow me, people. All right. In geometry, there's something called a vector. It's a point and a line with an arrow. You see it? You all see it?
Yep.
The point is the origin the origin of your point of perception. The line is the direction of your perception. Now, what we end up doing, and these are wishes. These are all wishes. Look at that. You see it? So that's us trying to solve the problem. That's the meth head. That's the fentanyl head trying to get out of his condition. But his point of perception never changed. When you have the aha moment, let me explain to you what happens. The aha moment is when your point of perception changes.
Woo!
When you move your point of perception, the whole world changes.
Wow.
That's right.
You understand the analogy now?
That's right. Bars.
You always were the king.
Damn.
Just haven't caught up to yourself as of yet.
That was a real good one.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that was a good one, yo.
That was
There
a
you
real,
go.
I didn't know where you was going, but that was a real good one, brother. Wow.
Yeah.
KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple. That's right. All initiation is supposed to do exactly what I just showed you on that paper.
Right.
Move your point of perception.
Move your point of perception. Man is mind. Perception.
Damn.
Come on now.
What you perceive, what you believe is what you perceive. Meaning that you could be standing next to somebody and y'all see the world completely different.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There you're looking at sort of you'll be looking symbol literate. So you'll see things in hyper reality that are quote unquote, you may be practicing what they call hyperstition. And I wanted to bring that up a minute ago when you were talking, and the act of hyperstition.
I got it. I wanted you to save that, but because
I want the family to just go ahead and collectively, when we go in today, just walk with us and whatnot. Use the devices to go ahead and this is the digital note taking, because we want to deal with efficiency over, we're gonna write things on paper, but we're gonna go with efficiency today. So the most efficient thing that I do when I'm watching 363 Empire is that I have my GPT on voice mode. I'm not a stenographer, so I don't type that fast. I speak right into it.
Sharp.
Yeah, I'll say accelerationism. Give me the definition. Everything you know about it. Go. And you know what I mean? As words drop, then I'll go ahead and I'll just keep dumping it into the thread. And then after the build, I go back and rewind it and then chop it up more. That's a good knowledge burger for everybody out there.
That's efficiency right there.
That's efficiency. So we are practicing efficiency over non-efficiency. That is what the universe respects. That's what the machines are going to replace the humans under those pretenses. That's what corporate America. That's why so many people are being laid off. That's why the government has been dissolved. That's why Doge even popped up, which should be called rage. Efficiency over AKA that nigga shit. And not that nigga shit in that sense of things, but that inefficiency, that non-reliance, the things that don't work, a broken code, a bug, a broken system, things that need to be eradicated and fixed and wiped out and quote unquote erased. That's the time that we're in right now. So the same vibrations that people have about shifting from the third to the fourth, and they're like, damn, beloved, I don't think Ashley Muhammad Bey, Sekhmet Allah, I don't think she made it to the fifth dimension, beloved. I was looking on her page the other day and she's looking rather ashy. Yeah, beloved. I don't think she made it either, son. It looks like it hurts her. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, she wasn't in the woods singing with us. Yeah, beloved. I don't think. The same way people are being judged about not making the shift, or not upgrading, or not being able to hit that frequency that everybody who has elevated is on. Well, the same thing is going on in what we call the Matrix.
Indeed. With that being said, I want to start with the topic, family. Tonight's show is 2025 was the rise of occultism via the far right. So I had a conversation with Red earlier, and he said something that I noticed. He said something that I noticed this entire year.
Mm-hmm.
When I prepare for the shows, sometimes I got to do research or I see what's on the internet and things like that. And one thing that I noticed is that I'm back in the days we used to say flicker through channels when we have the TV, but when I'm scrolling, I guess instead of flicking through channels, now we call it scrolling.
Doom scrolling.
Right.
I'm scrolling and I keep seeing Tucker Carlson. Now we all know Tucker Carlson. My most memorable moment with Tucker is was he the dude that Khalid Muhammad used to get at him? Was that Tucker or was that Sean Hannity?
No, it was Sean Hannity.
That
was back in O'Reilly days.
That was back in. Okay, Tucker replaced O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Right. He replaced
him. And then Tucker and all of that. Yeah, that's the replacement.
Right. So I'm watching because Tucker, everybody got a YouTube channel now. Everybody realizes that YouTube is the new TV. So everybody used to talk shit about YouTube and all you YouTuber, get a real job. What are you doing? You're wasting your life. Now everybody Oprah got a YouTube channel now. That's how it is right now. So and I would advise everybody watching, start yourself a YouTube channel, even if it's small, just put it out there. And if you look, you could grow it and whatever, but that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah. We should do classes on that.
Yeah, we did. We definitely should. That's a good idea. Very good idea.
Sauce, because it's sauce driven.
What I want to say is I keep seeing Tucker talk about occultism.
Right.
Then he's talking about chemtrails, then he's talking about entities, and they talking about entities that Silicon Valley's. I just keep hearing Tucker talk about occultism.
Right.
Then I hear Candace Owens talk about occultism. Then I hear a lot of them online talk about occultism and using symbols, and I'm like, wait a minute. I thought the far right, the most they go with, I heard them talk about some conspiracies and things like that. But when did Tucker and all these people, their thing is beating up on niggas and telling everybody the niggas telling everybody about niggas crime statistics. That's always been their thing. We're gonna talk about crime statistics that we've done manipulated and tell everybody no matter what happens, it's the blacks' fault. And now I'm seeing them talk about the same thing I'm talking about on my channel, and I'm like, what's going on? So then when Red ran it by me today, he's like, yeah, the far right, the occultism. I'm like, yo, I noticed that too. I'm like, we got to do a talk with that because this year I've seen it more than ever. So just to start out with, brother Sharif talked. He's came on this channel and talked about Hitler and Pascal Beverly Randolph, all types of occult stuff. Red, you come from the school of Bobby Hammond. You know what's up. Why has the far right gone that direction, y'all?
Wait, I come from the school of Sharif Bey too, bro.
Came up.
You was in the VCR
Dempsey Center days. Matter of fact, one of my first early lectures was Red and Blue Pill pulling me into the brother who has the Kinetic School. You remember?
Yeah. You was in my VCR when I was getting in the kitchen and whatnot.
Right.
I wanna pose some of the theories that I have as to why 2025 was the year that the far right got red pilled, right? No pun intended, because that whole red pill thing, that's just something that they ran with and whatnot. Right. And one of the things about being red pilled is that once red pilled, you can't unred pill a person. So once you see something, you can't unsee it. When it comes to going down a rabbit hole, it is very hard to cosplay that.
Word.
I know that there are people out there that are impervious to the truth and they don't want to hear certain things, and they could play the role and whatnot. But it's almost like, you got to get underwater and your ass is going to get wet, but it doesn't even matter. So keep this in mind, in 2025, when the far right was supposed to be planning on the purge, The far right was supposed to be running down and taking y'all guns. The far right was supposed to be in Chicago, running down on Old Block.
Right.
All of these things that was being predicted, the far right was going to they was going to run down on the blue states, all of these things that people were trying to project on themselves.
Yep.
No, they're in the crib Googling Bobby and Panic and Phil and whatnot, because they went down a certain rabbit hole that brought them right into touch at the feet of the master teachers. Similar to how we used to hear they were being carried inside of those Masonic lodges when they would rise up on certain degrees. They would walk into certain rooms and there was a blue black man that they had to kiss the feet of and whatnot. Or it was a group of black men who they had to kiss the ring of the Moors or the Blacker Moors. They always had to find out that Sophia was Big Mama.
Come on now.
So nothing has changed. This year, 2025, is such a mirror year that reflects so many different time periods and eras and timelines and whatnot. Yeah, them people, because they studying us. If they studying the occult, guess what? Guess who they studying? They're studying the gods.
Mm-hmm.
They're studying the gods.
Mm-hmm. That's
so there's nothing that they could do to get away from us. Now they're studying the esoteric, mystical, magical, Moorish history of what they call the Christos Negros, because they the stuff that they're finding out about themselves. They're like, that's like 1-2 videos. They're getting that out the way, and they're admitting to what is taking place. They're admitting to the interfacing that they've done, right?
Yep.
Because you have the substrate and then you have the interface. So they're admitting on a mass scale, like Noble Drew Ali predicted that they would.
Correct.
What is one of his prophecies? Good brother Sharif, Sheikh Sharif. Can I GPT Sharif GPT?
Sharif GPT
from you, God.
Here we go. One day the wheels of industry are going to come to a screeching halt, and when they start back up, it'll be in the favor of the Asiatics. In other words, our people.
Right.
This ain't even prophecy anymore. We're watching it unfold right in front of us on the news.
Right. So the new directive is what? The new directive is they're bringing the whatchamacallit. They're bringing industry to South America.
Oof, come on, bro.
They said that they're changing the scope of their quote unquote global plan.
Come on, bro.
They changed their whole global plan, ladies and gentlemen. This week, they just made the announcement, and they said that we are going to shift our focus away from the Middle East, away from Africa, and we're bringing it right into the Caribbean.
It's real.
In Central America, and we want to focus on bringing the factories out there.
Come on, bro.
Right? Like those banana factories from when they did what they did, with what was it, the Chiquita?
Yep.
They had a massacre of the banana farmers.
That's right.
So South America, where Adolf and the crew in them went to, right? The Taj Tariq Bey explains the origin story that they're from the Yucatan Peninsula, right? They marched them through South America into Europe, right? The fact that they had all of these aspirations and dreams to South America was the paradise. When the conquistadors and the crusaders came into their wealth and whatnot, and when they came into what we would call upright civilization, and when they came into what we would call the light that caused their enlightenment, that sparked a fire that even lit their enlightenment, it was in Peru. It was the silver. It was the potatoes that saved the Irish out of Peru, which Horace Butler calls Heru. And it was also Pizarro conquering the quote unquote Peruvians, and they took all of that gold. And then when they knocked off Montezuma in Mexico, Cortez and all of them and whatnot. Right. So they get into their goal, and we're talking about the conquistadors look like Drake. They look like French Montana, and they look like Khaled. Some of them talk Arabic and some of them talk Spanish. They were Moriscos and they flipped them and whatnot. So they were Arab speaking, anglicized, quote unquote, Moriscos, little Moors. So they spoke both languages and they used them as emissaries, as buffers, you know what I mean? And as, you know, as like guides and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah.
Yo, I want to jump in right there, bro. Listen, you said something super powerful. Actually, a couple things. You know, to Brother Rich's question, I'm going to start with what we're looking at socio-politically. You touched on it, Brother Red. And I mentioned all of this stuff, remember, earlier this year at your event
at my
in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, right.
Yo, we talked. Yo,
GCC, yeah, you dropped it all. You laid it out.
And now we can see it. What you have, people, without even going into all of that, that's a lot. What we're looking at right now is a shift in global geopolitics in favor of the global South. What is the global South? Non-pale European nations. Right. The very ones that were being exploited by global Euro imperialism now do everything not just cheaper, but better. And so because the Euro West created its own Frankenstein monsters, in other words, national oligarchs who don't care about nations, they don't care about America, they don't care about the European Union, they care about emerging global markets. And now, since it's our people in the global South that are the emerging markets, shout out to BRICS, right? That is where they're swinging their attention to. And that is why the United States is now not the unipolar world power. It is a regional power, right? And what we're seeing is the erosion and breakdown of colonial structures, not just physical, not just social, not just economic. Like we're definitely seeing it in Africa right now. And they're trying to make us think that all these African nations, they can't govern themselves. No. Remember, people, all 54 of those nations on the African continent were carved up by European colonialism via the Berlin Conference in 1883.
Right. That's a fake demarcation line.
Right. So shout out to my brother, Shahid Bolson. He said it like this. He said, what we're really looking at is thousands of years of natural African grass that got burnt. And then European astroturf put on top. Now we're seeing the astroturf on fire. So don't cry about what we're seeing. When you do excavation, it looks ugly. But you got thousands and thousands and thousands of years of pre-colonial structures underneath colonial structures. You're seeing a fallback to that. And that ties in to this whole occultism thing.
Look, I'll take it further.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to cut your wisdom. I'm gonna just add on.
He was cooking, man. You shouldn't have. He was cooking, man.
I know, I'm sorry, but even in Atlanta, that what you just said, it stands that there's a city underneath this city. But continue.
How about that? Exactly. Okay,
that's a good one, Red. Okay, that's a good one, Red. Okay, I see where you was going. Okay.
I want everybody. I want all of you. If you haven't heard of this European, he was a European occultist by the name of Neville Goddard.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know who Neville Goddard is?
Everybody knows, man.
Yeah, you know who his teacher was
over
too,
here,
right?
we do Neville.
Abdullah.
He didn't want to talk too much about him because he knew his crowd, his audience, wouldn't be able to stomach the fact that a pale European learned all of his deep knowledge from somebody that looks like you and me, right? But that said, there's an example that Neville Goddard, and it goes right back to what we said about time and what we were talking about time, right? Neville Goddard was complaining to his teacher because he was trying to be in Barbados for some event, right? And he just wasn't gonna be able to get there, right? Like, it just wasn't gonna happen. And he was complaining about it and apologizing to his teacher Abdullah. So Abdullah looked at him and he said, "You're in Barbados. You flew there on a first flight ticket, on a first class ticket."
Right.
And the guy and Neville Goddard and he got mad. He said it again. He said, "You're in Barbados. You got there on a first class ticket," and then slammed the door on him. In less than a week, he got first class tickets mailed to him, seemingly out of the blue,
right?
To go to, right? And the lesson that it taught him was that not just time is cyclical, but man, when you shift your point of perception outside of time, you have access to all possibilities.
To all possibilities. That belief.
There you go.
Collapses the wave, ladies.
Collapses the wave function into an event.
Other word to Google, or not, we don't do Google no more. Let me rephrase that. We do Perplexity. We do 5 things at once. We do Claude. We do Grok. We do Perplexity. We do Gemini. Deep research on all of them. And we do Chat GPT. The word is hyperstition. Okay.
Come on, brother.
You heard of superstition. Don't cross the pole. Don't wear dirty clothes. And yeah, well, let's talk about hyperstition.
Right.
Because superstition, those quote unquote ideas,
right,
or those fictions are not coming into reality. But in hyperstition, which was coined by a man who I also want you to go and do your deep research on, Nick Land.
Woo!
Nick, like Nicholas, and Land, like the land that you stand on.
That's right.
Right. And CCRU. Go and look up the CCRU, and that is the quote unquote, that is a think tank / group out of the 90s that were responsible for what you know today as chaos magic.
That's right.
Being applied. All of that shit that you see. Now, we got to talk about QAnon. And I was actually building up the preface earlier about why we're seeing 2025 about occultism. Occultism on the far right exists mainly because of the largest psyop ever taken place in the internet generation that was called QAnon, which was a multi-level, real life Dungeons and Dragons, quote unquote, meme magic, chaos magic, layered upon white Christian nationalism,
correct,
as a motherboard,
correct,
right? And it was governmental, quote unquote, a humongous governmental psyop, maybe one that came out of, I would say, the 3-letter organizations that deal with is it real and things of that nature.
Yeah,
but they were the ones who primed and prepped millions upon millions upon millions of people in order to go down the rabbit hole. First, it was the rabbit hole with the pizza. Then they turned into the Epstein, then the Frazzle, and all of these other things. The whole, but what they did, what QAnon did, while we were sleeping, while everything was while the chaos was going on, they deified Donald Trump.
Come on, bro. Yo, let me jump in. Let me jump in real quick,
please
brother.
Do,
just real quick. Yo, what you said is a mouthful. QAnon literally is a magical machine, and it used the whole occultism.
They're occult. It's an occult magical machine,
and it drew our energy into it to fuel it. That's how that was one of the main purposes of bringing in the occultism in, because it drew what, as Brother Red already said earlier, prior to Euro-colonialism, what was occultism called? Higher learning.
Right.
That's what it was called, people.
Right.
Higher learning. That's what your forefathers and our, that's what we called it, higher learning.
Higher learning, yep.
And then it was outlawed.
So when you retroactively research cybernetics, when you research CCRU, what they were doing in the 90s, because remember, these are Crowleyite students.
Yes.
They're doing shit like, remember the movie Everything, Everywhere, All at Once?
Yeah.
That won an Academy Award for the movie of the year, ladies and gentlemen. So that's how important that is, right? That movie spoke about multi-dimensional jumping, multiple realities and whatnot. But one of the things that they showed in that movie is, in order for them to jump timelines, they had to do some weird shit.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So, I don't know if you ever heard of the term of acting weird, like weird out. The younger generation, they like to weird out. They follow. There's the SoundCloud era. The little Uzi in them. They were the weird ones. They were the outcasts. They were the misfits. You know what I mean? They were weirding out. As the more the generations go down the line, the weirder the artists start to get.
Right.
But these are the people who are in their music. They're taking their listeners into different dimensions. They could get lost in these people's worlds and whatnot. The weirder, the more mysterious, the more antisocial, the more archetypical these artists appear, right? And once the sound and the frequency and the music and the lyrics and the visuals match, well, shit, Your ass is on the Nebuchadnezzar.
Come on now.
You
Come
know,
on now. That's
you
real.
are they're going to take you. So that is what has taken place on a large scale through the industry, because they
Yes.
understood the power of this false light. They understood the power of doing rituals through the music, through the killings, through the videos, the reckoning.
Right.
Yeah, we had the Diddy reckoning, but where's 2025 the reckoning? Where's quote unquote where's is it real the reckoning?
Come on
You know what I'm saying? We need all of these reckonings and whatnot, because I'm in favor of the idea of 2025 and what it represents. It is the whole year is about coming to a reckoning. The whole year is about coming to a certain conclusion, so we don't go into 2026 with these blinders on.
Right.
And if all goes well, on December 19th, the whole planet will have a reckoning that we are not alone.
Oh, because 3-year Atlas, right?
Right.
December 19th.
I mean, if it doesn't already wake people up to that, because people is like, yeah, you know, Red, that could be Project Bluebeam.
Psyop.
I'm like, that's a good ass Bluebeam. I mean, if you really wanna, if that's the case, because they got people with homemade telescopes and they see something.
Right.
I'm like, that's a good blue beam. I don't know what's going, you know what I mean? Whatever's happening, that's the blue star Kachina is here. Them people who we call them people, they getting nervous. They moving around, wild nervous. They you know, they say don't let them see you sweat. I see them sweating.
Right. Oh yeah.
They're trying to distract us with so many things other than talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because where your attention goes is where the power goes.
Power goes, bro.
So then people started killing our people in 2012. First it was Trayvon, and they continue to do these rituals upon us. This had a lot to do with this occult magic that they were doing. They start spirit cooking us. They spirit cooked us in 2020. They brought BLM in to stand on top of the cadaver, like how Kali is, where she stands on top of the dead man. They stood on top of a dead man and siphoned all of the energy. That's called necromancy, ladies and gentlemen. They never brought a living black man on a stage and pedestaled him. They never gave him money in the public. They never invested in a melanated man. They never was at a no niggas wedding. You know what I mean? None of them. And they had our people hypnotized for years. So you know the psyops was working, and you know they was cooking our people. And I have the opportunity to examine the substrate, right? Not the interface. This is the interface. The interface on your phone is that shiny, colorful shit you see called a UX design.
Right.
User interface.
Right.
That is not the internet, and that's not your website, and that's not your phone app.
No.
I study the code underneath the goddamn interface.
Right.
So I study the substrate, the layers and whatnot. So they've been cooking our peoples on those layers for a very long time. This internet shit is not what you think it is. This AI shit is not what you think it is. All of this stuff. If you don't understand what's going on, you may be. That's why people is like, yo, shit feels weird. It feels weird because a new God is in charge.
That's real.
Another word to go and look up is Aragon. Or Aramon, right? And then say and compare him to Lucifer.
Oh, right?
Aramon, right? The silicone god.
Yep.
The god of
I-M-A-N. A-H-R-I-M-A-N. Ahriman. That's right.
Right? So these people, and I said it before, transhumanism is a religion. It's not a movement. It's not a theory. And all of those people on the cover of the Time magazine that they just said AI is the.
I just pulled it up. Go ahead, Red. I just pulled it up.
Show them that, man.
It's crazy, yo. As you say, I just pulled it up.
Another thing I want y'all to look up before I talk about what y'all looking at, go and look up SSI. You would be like, damn, Red, I paid my taxes. Chill. You know what I mean? I know you don't be trying to get our social security. And I would say to you, family, I'm talking about solid state intelligence. Why don't they ever tell you about solid state intelligence? They always say artificial intelligence, but nobody never said that we was paying SSI. They gave us something called SSI, but SSI is really solid state intelligence. What is solid state intelligence, Red? Solid state intelligence is the Terminator. Solid state intelligence is the AI that don't have no feelings. It don't have no emotion. It does what they tell it to do. That solid state intelligence. That solid state intelligence is a laser, and when the shit says it, when this person presses the button, and it shoots.
Yep.
The semiconductors, the integrated circuits, the motherboards, those computer chips that they talking about with China. That's solid state intelligence, and that is very important when we have these conversations about this thing called AI. So we don't want these people to talk about, because they'll talk about shit right in your face and you don't even know what's being said in front of you.
I wanna before we continue, this is very important. As we show the architects of AI, I want the family to know what are we dealing with. I want so this book here, Sharif gave a list of books. This family, just follow me. Follow me. Sharif gave a list of books about a couple of months ago when I was promoting for AI. I told the family that we are going to get into movement involving radionics in 2026.
Right.
There's going to be I don't know what a study group. I don't want to give it a name because sometimes when you give stuff a name, people try to box you in. But the Carbon Code Collective is a study group that we are going to tap into our esoteric and occult abilities unlike anything you've ever seen before in your entire life. Sharif will be one of the heads of this study group. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, amazing. It's a community outside of YouTube and the internet where we could really be focused, because right now the number one enemy for us is distraction, and social media is all about distraction.
Number one.
Okay, follow me. So a book Sharif recommended when we discussed this before the AI workshop. This is one of the books, and I want the family to know I didn't have the book at the time. I'm serious about it. I didn't have this book at the time. So every book Sharif recommended, I got.
Right.
No matter the price. This right here, do me a favor. Everybody in the chat, try to look for this book right now. See what price y'all can find it for.
Exactly.
Because I think I paid $100 or something for it.
Yeah.
A used book.
Tansley's book is not.
This was used. I think I either paid $100 or something. I forget. When I see something I like it, I buy it. Unfortunately, that's the life I'm able to live. So I see something I like it, I buy it. So I bought this book right here. I got it, even though it costs like $100 something like that. And I'm reading through it. I'm like, Sharif said, Brother Sharif, he's he one of the top brothers with this Carbon Code Collective. This must have some serious information in it. And look what I find in the book. I just seen. I should have underlined it. Give me a second. Because we're talking about the right wing, we're talking about the far right, right? So let me put this on. Let me let me solo my screen. Follow me, y'all. Follow me. Just follow me real quick. Let's read this together. Because we're talking about the far right and occultism. This is radionics. This is radionics. This is the real technology. So we're talking about the far right. And we're talking about the real technology, which is radionics.
Yes.
Way greater than artificial technology. Let's read this paragraph. All of these definitions are completely the opposite in meaning to modern beliefs about magic. Magic is a word, bears within itself proof of its high origin according to various sources. I'm reading this backwards, so bear with me. The Latin magus and the Greek magos, a magician, gave us an indication of authority and wisdom in one who could control the forces of nature. In Sanskrit, the word maga, nigga, come on. We ain't making this shit up. Sanskrit is one of the most ancient languages. What they said in the Sanskrit, the word maga means priest of the sun, the white magician, and the wielder of creative energies for the benefit of all. God damn it.
brother.
God
Now,
nobody on the internet has said that shit.
now,
Cut this shit out.
real quick, bro.
Hold up. Let me read it one more time. Because I was reading it backwards, Sharif. I was reading it backwards.
No doubt.
Because I had it like this. So I was like, I'm reading it on the screen.
Right.
Read this one more time. Nobody's making this. This is radionics. This book costs about $200.
Yes.
This is some real internal magic that you could tap into. Check what it says here. Magic as a word bears within itself proof of its high origin. According to various sources, the Latin magus in the Greek magos, a magician, gave us an indication of authority and wisdom and one who could control the forces of nature. In Sanskrit, the word maga means priest of the sun, the white magician and wielder of creative energies for the benefit of all. Come on, y'all.
Brother. So to your point, Stephen Greer with the CE5 project, right? They just finished not too long ago their analyzation of the Boogosphere. And the writing on the Boogosphere, they said, is Proto-Sanskrit. And they translated it. Fact of the matter is the Boogosphere is a radionics device, bro. It's a radionics device. Now, for the audience who's new to the term radionics, consciousness-assisted technology, meaning human consciousness is a component of the tech and a primary component of the tech. To Brother Red's point, Red was cooking earlier. I just want to say this. My group on Facebook is called the Sagala Institute of Bioenergetic Transhumanism. So you know what? We got our own transhumanism movement too. But guess what? This is the tech. The human body is the tech, and the human psyche is the tech.
Real quick.
That book is 135 views. Thanks for looking up for me, family. If y'all can find it cheaper, let the family and the audience know this is a book that if you're interested in participating in our group, we're going to tap into this book next year. But as of right now, I think I paid around $200 for it. But Beautiful is saying that 135 views. So one thing I want to tell you what's magnificent about we're talking about a multi-dimensional reality and a higher self. So I went downstairs and got this book. It seemed like I was going to show that purposely. I had no idea this book said that. I literally read that in this book 5 minutes before I said it. And I said, oh, wow, we're talking about the far right mega. I said, wow. So there's something greater than our ego that we have the ability to tap into. And if we just let go of control, things like that will happen. That was a big moment on this show tonight. I had no idea that was going to happen. And I didn't plan that. But I had something else that had a higher view, a bird's eye view that planned it. And so if you can find it cheaper, somebody said $89 on Amazon. But yeah, go ahead, y'all. I'm glad I read it. That was amazing right there. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Priest of the sun. Sun is the
amazing.
Trump, the priest of the sun. His people is the priest of the sun.
That's right.
They can't even stand in the sun.
Right.
They cannot even stand in the sun, y'all.
That's right.
And to the point I was making earlier with Red.
But what about the black sun?
What we have.
They don't even have access to that.
The obsession with the extreme right with occultism. When we say occultism, we're talking about the outlawed way of thinking and state of mind of our forefathers pre-colonial era.
Right.
What we are seeing is the crumbling of the European psychology worldwide. And so the next new thing, the new Jerusalem in Book of Revelations, the new song that they sung on Mount Zion, the new world, the new holy city is our old way of thinking. So what do we see them doing? Trying to co-opt it. They want, and at the same time, discredit us from being the beneficiaries and the recipients of what our forefathers left for us. They want to keep the narrative. So that's them saying, nah, this is our thing. You see?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what's happening.
And
Man.
Really, from what I'm seeing, what's taking place on that side is they are tapping into the psychonauts, right?
Heavy,
Heavy psychonauts,
heavy.
right? And they are summoning these entities that are quote unquote malefic, malevolent.
Malevolent. That's right.
Yeah, and they are summoning these quote unquote entities utilizing inverted satanic rituals on places like St. James Island and stuff like that. That's what they're doing. They're tapping in, they're feeding their egregor, they're feeding their entities, they're practicing transgressions and whatnot. They are in what they would call Babylonian magic rituals and stuff. Like that's what's taking that's really happening in real time with these folks, and people literally could see it if they know what they looking at, you know. And they can't hide it anymore.
Right.
So we live in this post reality where the secret is out and whatnot. So now it's like, what you gonna do about it?
Right.
So even with them examining the occult with these fake lens, they have these crusader lens. They're looking at it through the lens of modern day crusaders, because as they identify themselves, right? What's that word? Anachronism.
Yep.
As they identify themselves retroactively or retro casually as the same the descendants of the crusaders, right? They're falling into the same type of conversations that are akin to that time. They want they want to implement Sharia Christian law. This whole conversation with trad wives and this this way of living, and you know what I mean, like all of those conversations. So even with the occult conversation, they're like acting like Kabbalah is spooky,
right?
And it's a lot of when you watch the videos, the Joe Rogan style. Wait, the Tucker, the deniable plausibility. What do you mean? An altar, as in altar beast? No, wait, an altar, and you put a candle on it?
Right.
You don't say. Tell me more.
Right. Right.
When William Cooper was cooking y'all, y'all were in the same classes that we were in. Tucker, like, what are you talking about?
Right.
When David Icke was talking about these goddamn aliens, you were reading those books, Tucker.
Right.
So the deniable plausibility is creating what, once again, that's why you know it's a psyops. That's why you know this is central casting, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody is in on the motherfucking game. The whole far right, they're in on the game.
Right. Right. They're in on the game.
So they are still framing their crusades into the cult as, yeah, we told you that those niggas were demonic. Here's the proof. We told you that these people were cursed. Here's the proof. They're into shit like this. They're into this stuff. Our good Christian, and they're hiding behind all of the fake facades of this fake Christian revival. When we know that it's really them showing the world that all of the crypto religious shit, they taking their mask off and they're letting the world know, oh, nah, we Satanists. So is Silicon Valley. We're all Satanists, and we're children of Satanists. Those are our daddies. We follow Curtis Yarvin. We follow the dark. we follow in the Dark Enlightenment. We follow in Nick Land and whatnot. We follow in all of these things. We want techno nihilism. So
that's a fact.
Nothing that I see going on over there on the far right impresses me. It's a crock of shit. It's bad acting and whatnot. These are bad actors. This fake, oh wow, all of that. It doesn't do anybody any good over here.
No.
Keep that shit on that side. and let us continue, because I see that they're opening inroads. I see Tazariak beginning to entertain the likes of because they have a network of podcast bros. Remember, these are the same people that got President Trump in his administration of technocrats, oligarchs, and maniacs into the White House, and they knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing.
That's right.
This is all coming from some deep web. QAnon, Trump is the Messiah. We rolling with the big Z and whatnot, World War Z. You know what I mean? And they're playing a game to people who are considered to be profane and not on game.
Yo, Red summed it up right there. He really, really did, y'all. Back when I was down in Atlanta and I did the lecture at his event, I mentioned 2 organizations. Now, here's the thing. Watch this. There's something called consensus reality, right? Rich's house ain't on fire right now, but if the fire department thought it was on fire, everybody in Rich's house would be wet right now.
Right.
The way somebody believes can affect you whether you believe it or not. That said, if you knew the principles and the ideals that the people that Red just mentioned are moving out on and strategizing on, you would laugh. You really would laugh. But listen, they believe their engine. They believe their egregore. They believe it. And they're going to make you believe it. That said, look up 2 organizations. I don't have to say any more. Look up 7 Mountain Mandate and look up the New Apostolic Reformation. And you can literally do that right now. You can wiki both of them and then look at the key people. Look at the principles that they follow.
Right.
Their objectives, and then the key people in it. You can be like, oh my God, this is Heritage Foundation, Project 2025. And they're
look up Russell Voigt. Right,
yep.
Who's basically, you'll find articles that said that he's the one running the White House.
Yep.
He's the shadow president. Look up Russell Voigt, and also do the comparison for all of the people who watch the TV shows The Boys on Amazon. If you ever wanted to see a mythological depiction of the Trump administration and how they use satire and whatnot, and how they tie the whole superhero universe, and juxtaposed it almost like a simulacra to this reality, go and watch The Boys. And then when you watch last season, go and watch pay attention to Homelander, but pay attention to the organization that he works for, which is like SHIELD in the Avengers. This is like an upside down world SHIELD. This is like an upside down world Avengers, this TV show. Everybody's evil, everybody's dark, everybody's corrupted.
Brother, on a side note, real quick, and this goes back to what Rich said we're gonna do with this little study group thing, right? Okay, everybody's watching Stranger Days and all of that, which is dope. And yes, and it is based on the Montauk experiments. But here, watch. You want to show it. This is an example of decolonizing your thinking. Watch it. The fact that we all know that the experiments in Montauk, New York, were real. The fact that we know that they were taking children because their minds weren't fully shaped, right?
Right.
And so, in other words, they could still have direct access to doorways and pathways, which is what they exploited.
Right.
And then they developed it. They developed a particular individual that could pull things into 3D, and it shook them to the point where they had to shut the whole demonstration down. Decolonized thinking on our part tells us, wait a minute, you can make simian tokos?
Right.
We can make simian tokos. Right. We can make ourselves in the semblance of simian toko. Because that's what they were trying to do.
What year is Camp Hero?
Oh, wow. What year was that? Was that in the 80s?
Yes, it was.
I thought so.
And what borough is Camp Hero residing in?
Go ahead, tell them.
It's Long Island.
That's right.
And give me the list of the top 3 MCs of the 80s that came out of Long Island, sir.
Come on now.
Public Enemy.
Rakim Allah.
That's
right.
Come on, yeah.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you one that they don't know. Here's the honorable mention. Do you know it though? JVC Crew. Remember them?
No.
Yeah, JVC Crew came before them. They was out on Long Island. They was making noise.
So in a place where they are conducting MK Ultra experiments,
That's
and
right.
they're giving birth to like superhumans or people who are considered to be, you know, like the X-Men. There's a place where they're opening up portals and they're activating people's Henrietta Lacks, the Hella genes or the Hella cells.
Mm-hmm.
And then coincidentally and conspicuously enough, in that same area, that same on that same grid that we call Kings County. That's what we call Kings County, because Brooklyn, Queens, and Long Island is one landmass. It's Kings County. So out of Kings County, you get all of these poets and these artists and these messianic like beings and whatnot. Who did what? Who was using the music to open the portals and to keep Vecna away. So in Stranger Things, what happens? There's an iconic scene where the girl is about to get pulled and killed by Vecna, right? And she has the headphones on, and the song "Running Up the Hill" comes on, and they say, "Yo, music could activate." And Vecna is about to take her soul and whatnot, and they say it's the music, because music is a time machine. Music will wake somebody who is possessed and bring them out of their possession and whatnot, because the music is how people attach to memory. The music is a time machine. It will take you back into your childhood. It will take you back to the wedding. It will take you back to events and whatnot. That's why the music, you could get rid of the artist, but you can't get rid of the memory that the music is attached to and whatnot. Sinners showed you how music opens up portals. But in season 4 of Stranger Things, they showed you with that scene and whatnot.
Music
can
shift point of perception.
It shifts the point, right? So
that's as Red said earlier, right? Man is mind. So
man is mind, right?
Is your true location,
right?
So hear that?
When you're in a dream state, right? When you're in theta, in a dream state, or you're dreaming and you're having a near fatal encounter and whatnot, what do you have to do in order to get back into your bag and whatnot? You have to shift the perception. You have to shift the vantage point. So in the movie Matrix, they showed you that they said, if you die in the Matrix, you die in the real world.
How about
that? There's days when I wake up and I go on my timeline and I'm seeing a lot of people who their reality and their lives and their quote unquote their body is attached to the internet. Like they're a TikTok star. I don't know this person from they just branded by TikTok. TikTok birthed them. They're a TikTok creation. They come from the TikTok universe.
Right.
So people be like, shit, I'll be on a train with this person, but until you identify that this person is a part of this world, they're a part of this universe, they're a part of this dimension that you might not know nothing of, but them niggas is God in that dimension.
Real
talk. They'd be like, yo, that person 24, they died. I'd be like, damn.
Right.
So something is going on in the underground, in the upside down world, where people are a little more tied in to this quote unquote this occult, right? This occult layered. It's a stack. There's layers to this shit. It's some niggas that's tapped into the dark web. So they're on the deep occult.
Right.
Then there's some people that's just surface occult. They just got scary names on Facebook and whatnot. So they're not really in it like that. But there's some people that's balls deep in this shit, bro. They spending bitcoins to get the shit, to get the show started.
Not for real.
That's how dedicated they are.
To your point, brother, that little red book that Rich got,
right?
Speaking exactly to what Red just said. That book's for operators. It ain't for dabblers, people.
Right. So think about the catacombs of Paris. Think about the catacombs of Rome. Think about the catacombs of where all of the skulls of the Vatican, where they got all of the skulls all of the bodies, the sacrifices. They're standing on top. Henceforth, why I say they built cities on top of cities. There's cities on top of New York. New York, there's a city underneath New York City. There's a city underneath Atlanta. There's a city underneath DC, my niggas. Okay.
Word is born.
So the internet, because of the dark web, where you that's a basement that you don't go to. That's a catacomb that a lot of niggas don't visit. But I promise you this, it's a catacomb of skulls.
Ooh.
It's a catacomb of bodies. It's a catacomb that people are standing on the interface, but the substrate, the mycelium, the underbelly, the shit that you niggas don't see, but it don't mean that it's not there. That's why Rich had asked the question the other day about if I had the opportunity to take porn off the internet, would I take it off the internet? And I say that the corn is attached to the rituals. The corn is the catacomb. It is that layer and whatnot. But I should have answered Rich to say this. Shit. It's the same question to say, would you take the weights out the gym?
Ooh.
The corn exists so you could be who the fuck you say that you are. You don't got to take the corn away if you're disciplined. The resistance of the corn and the resistance of you falling into that state, that's what makes you God.
Ooh.
You don't have to remove it. God could walk through the valley of death, nigga. If you are Timothy, then nothing is going to tempt you. The demons, the entities, the succubus, the attachments, all of that shit tests you. That's how you're gonna test your strength if ye are not tempted.
That's a problem right there. That right there was the price of admission.
So in order for this community and everybody that signed up for what the fuck they say that they signed up for, regardless of what's going on the right, because the leader of the right is a virgin by the name of Nick Fuentes, who never touched no box. He didn't walk. You know that shit on Stranger Things, the yoni to keep opening up. Yeah. Nick never walked through that yoni, niggas. He never walked through that gate.
Nope.
All he needs is a good night with a woman, and everything will change with him. This incel movement of these people called the groypers and whatnot.
Right.
They're virgins, right? Because this all Frances Cress Wilson diatribe. This is all her research playing out in real time. The undergirdings of it all, the underbelly, the soft white underbelly of from the far right to the far left to the middle, it's all anchored in the root chakra. It's all anchored in desire. It's all anchored in lust. Not the lust for black bodies, the fetishment for black death, the fetishment for black destruction, the fetishment to see
the killing of
Trayvon Martin, the killing of the king, to see Trayvon Martin laid out in the quote unquote Masonic pose. What did that do? That fired up the hyperstition engine of this underground, of these magicians and these warlocks and these spirit cookers who speak through memes. They speak through symbolism. They speak through ritual and sacrifice, bloodlettings and whatnot. They know that that's their man. They're like, touchdown, and they roll one up. The proverbial of what the drill rappers and their followings do. They roll one up, they put it in the air, and they make a song about it. That's what's going on right now.
Hey, Sharif, I want to ask you a question, my brother.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad Red brought up the topic of porn, and I don't call it corn, I just say porn.
Right.
But, you've been a part of certain societies. You have been a part of certain organizations.
Absolutely.
You've seen this thing that we call knowledge. Like, let's say we read a book. 10 people could read this book and get 10 different interpretations, they could tap into it 10 different ways on 10 different levels.
Right.
One person can completely go to another paradigm, another person, they may confuse them and make them probably even worse than what they were before they read it.
Absolutely.
I want to ask you, in terms of in this realm,
yes,
what we call knowledge, what we call wisdom,
yes,
what these societies that people they did so much to become a part of.
Yes.
When you get involved in this knowledge, Sharif, what is the difference? What do you think the difference would be, my brother, between, let's say, a brother who never got no box? By box, I mean vagina, for those who know.
Yeah.
A brother who never got any vagina in his life, and he got into the knowledge. Then there's another brother who got a good amount of vagina and understands the principles of, woman and things like that, and he gets into the knowledge. What do you think the difference in them tapping into the knowledge would be? A brother who went through that portal and experienced love making a woman versus not experiencing sex with a woman. How does that impact your accumulation of knowledge and wisdom in this world, my brother?
Man, that's a loaded question. You be asking some wild questions, bro. There's so many ways this can go, and there's also a lot of nuance to it. So follow me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We all know. I mean, that's a discussion or a show all by itself about sexual energy retention and its potentials, right?
Mm-hmm.
But hey, listen. Let's keep it a buck. Vitamin C, right, is good for me, but I can't live on just all vitamin C. I'll kill myself, right?
Right.
So even semen retention without a purpose,
right,
is dangerous. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Without a direction is dangerous. So somebody just retaining who hasn't had any, who's a quote unquote virgin, doesn't necessarily make it does. Man, how did Denzel Washington say it to Dakota Fanning in the movie Man on Fire? She said, "I'm fierce, Creasy." He said, "Nah, there's only trained or untrained. Which one are you?"
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? You gotta have training. So what you know about semen retention? So what? You gotta have training. If you don't got training on what to do with that, you're just hurting yourself. Or at best, or just mainly, or severely frustrating yourself at best, harming yourself at worst, right? So, and then the other individual who, okay, he average normal person is sexually involved or whatever, right? You've got people. There's a wide range of that. Where people will do it in moderation. It won't. Then people that are obsessed, right? So there's a lot to that. The most important thing I'll say is this to your question, brother. The book, this is not the true source of knowledge. You hear what I'm saying? This is not a true source of knowledge. This is either A, a pointer to the true source, or B, verification of what is already known. All right, where do we go? If man is mind, Red just said it. Man is mind, right? If man is mind, then mind never does forget.
Look,
then the primary source is to go within. First, we go into the land. We go with mind into the land of fleshless things. Mind never does forget. Anything on the outside verifies what we know inside. We've all experienced gnosis, just like that aha moment. We've experienced that thing with, I know that's true. You'll die on that hill, and you ain't got external evidence to the fact. And then when you get the external evidence, all you just like, see, it verifies what's already there. Remember, the outside world is nothing but unfolding inner consciousness.
And Red, you know why I asked him that question, Red? And I'm gonna direct it to you right now, and you could continue with what you're about to say. You learn through your experience in life, and one thing I noticed is that, Red, if somebody never, and it's just a real interesting connection that we never knew was a connection. If let's say if somebody's a virgin, right? They never got any box, or their sister never got, any whatever. They just seem so inexperienced at everything else in life that's not connected to sex. Like if the way they move, there's been times me and my lady, we know people younger than us, nieces, nephews, whatever, and we'll be like, oh shit, they're a virgin. You can't, but they're just so naive about so much shit that you just be like, they're a virgin. They're just like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. They're like this. Right. And it seems like whatever they're going through it could be something like paying a bill, but it seemed like it's not connected to sex, but it's just like whether you had sex or not, that impacts your ability to pay a bill on time. And it's this weird connection that nobody would never make, that it just sex seems to be connected to every other decision you make. Whereas when your son has sex, he's a completely different person. He doesn't have to tell you, Red. You notice it. The nigga move completely different, or your daughter move completely different. And she brushes her teeth different, Red. Right. You hear me? She brushes her teeth different. Right. And you like, oh, you be like, pardon my language. Oh, she fucking. Pardon my language. But you realize it because she brushed her teeth different.
Yes.
So it's like, wow. But go ahead, my brother.
Yes.
What you pick up on is the fact that there's another spirit that is cohabitating her temple. And if she's fucking a lot, then there's gonna be a lot of spirits cohabitating her or his temple. You know, yeah, this is. I would love for the audience to go and look up another word called recursion.
Yeah,
that's a great word to go ahead and do your research on, because recursion goes back into the conversation that we're having about optimization. It goes back into a conversation that we have just about natural things. Like a recursion is a natural feedback. It's a loop, right?
Yes, sir.
So sex is a feedback loop. Sex is the most native. It's the most quote unquote organic. It's the most primal feedback loop that man and women can have outside of food and things of that nature. So recursion is the fact that the symbol that they have in recursion would be the snake, the eating its tail and whatnot. That ongoing loop, the Ouroboros and whatnot. Yeah. But through recursion, we die every time. But every time that we die, we get better and whatnot. Right? So that harkens back to the initial question that Rich asked about the virgin versus somebody who has gone through experience and they have recursion loop, they have feedback loops and whatnot. They've refined themselves through having bad recursions, good recursions, getting better at it, versus the person that never got their feet wet. So he who has faced his demons is more qualified than he who has never even faced his demons.
Actual fact.
So if you're scared of the punani, my nigga, you're not even qualified to even have the comment. You didn't even face your demons. At least the person who faced the demons and got and you know, he faced what they call the demon of the flesh.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's called the demon of the flesh. So he who has conquered and faced the demon of the flesh is more qualified than he who has never even faced the demon. So he who climbed Stone Mountain can talk with more compassion and experience than he who only read about climbing Stone Mountain, or he who watched niggas climb Stone Mountain.
That's real, bro.
Experience changes everything. Go and get you some box, son.
The person without the carnal nature, who has never experienced the carnal nature in order to fight it and overcome it, is like the person who's trying to tell you what a peach cobbler tastes like because they ate the recipe.
That's right. You don't have the experience. You're not qualified.
Right.
You're speculating. You know what I mean? And we don't need no speculators.
No.
This is amazing information. Life is amazing. I swear, man. I could never. I can get Red. Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut your way.
I was just gonna say I could never be bored with this life, because it's just like, wow, so much to learn. But go ahead, my brother.
I wanted to add on to what you were saying, that life is so amazing. And I took the initiative when I heard about the radionics to start leveling up my information and my research. Can you pull that image up?
Oh, okay. You know? See it, okay.
And you know what I'm saying? Like I'm in the lab, brothers. You know what I mean? I'm working on my machine.
Ooh,
and
okay.
I'm throwing my hat in the ring. Yeah. So that's one of my radionics. That's the inside and out of it. So when I show the investors, they know what the workings of it is. But yeah, we getting back to that God technology.
Yo, listen.
Which is the opposite.
Brother, real quick. I'm so proud to see that, because too many of us just talk, bro.
That's not what 2025 is, brother Sharif.
Nah,
2025 is the year of doing.
Yeah.
You got the thinker, the knowers, and the doers.
Yeah.
2025, because they named AI as the person of the year.
Yes.
Right. This is the year of the doers.
Yes.
Because you have to do. You got to do that. You got to do the damn thing this year. If you were still talking and thinking about it, that's cool. But why don't you press enter, my nigga?
Come
why
on.
don't you just press enter? That's all you got to do is press enter.
Exactly.
And send that prompt into the void, and then the game starts right there. You're on the floor.
See, bro. I got it now. I got to show y'all one of mine.
Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Come on,
Sharif. Let's go.
Send it to me, brother. Come on, brother.
I already did.
Come on, brother. Let's go.
Okay, hold up. Oh, whoa. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, what's this now? Sharif getting X-rated orders. What the?
Fire.
No. The image. Okay, the image I sent you. No, let me show you the image.
Let me share this one first. That image.
Okay, yeah, the machine. Yeah.
Yeah, let me send because
this is a movement right here. We got this.
Hold up. First, let's do this image first, and you got some explaining to do.
With the image? Yeah.
What is this, my brother?
All right, here we go. That's from my personal notes. So remember we were talking about somebody who mentioned they were talking about the upside down, right?
Upside down world.
Yo, this is all old tech. So you see the position of the person on top, right?
Right.
In the old pre-Muhammadan Islamic magical religious systems, there's something called Al-Qurin, the double, the inorganic double.
Right.
It's made of the material that people say the jinn are made of.
Smokeless fire.
Well, everybody has a Qurin. And so that position you see them in is when you are prostrated for prayer.
It looked like the horse stance. When
you prostrate, the points of your Qurin touch your points on the ground.
Sharif, it looked like the horse stance.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Yes, it does. So in the prostrated position in Salat, you come into direct contact with your inorganic self, your Qurin, your upside, your version in the upside down. There you go.
Right.
Wow. All right, and let me share the other image you sent me, so you could explain what. All right. Wait. Hold up now. Give me 1 second, family. This is some good stuff here. All right. What is this here, my brother? What is this here? Come on, Sharif.
So that's one of my machines. So it's of course it's a Schumann resonator, right? And the resonator itself you can broadcast signals. So follow me. Everything that you see that's physical, we teach this in this is how we do religion. We teach this in Moorish science, right? Here we go.
Yes, sir.
Everything that's physical is a three-dimensional shadow of a higher reality.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. And what separates things is not altitude, but amplitude, vibration, right? Okay, follow me. Right? And this is how, for instance, Rife technology works, dear brother. Let's say somebody's got type 2 diabetes. Their insulin, their medicine it's still physical, isn't it? It's a physical thing, isn't it? Which means it's a 3D shadow of a higher reality. Am I correct? What if you could broadcast the vibration of the higher reality? That's what resonators do. All you need to know is the rate, the numerical rate. You just need to know the rate, and you can broadcast insulin, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm telling you? So I'm using that resonator there to program that particular crystal.
Beautiful.
That crystal is like a multiple terabyte storage unit.
Storage unit.
There you go. It's a hard drive.
Because it holds multiple terabytes inside of
there you go.
Yes.
There you go.
They store data upon data upon data, light upon light upon light.
Correct.
That's why. That's why.
That's why I'm so happy to see red stuff. Listen, we really do this, people. We really do it. It's not we just not talking.
Oh no, we live in this shit.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
It's a beautiful thing. Like that we the greatest show in town.
Come on now.
You know, the whole like you're gonna start seeing Europeans wearing crystals in a minute.
What?
Everybody is moving over to this side. Not to be arrogant or anything, but you don't have to come. I tell people every day, like the people that you would try to conform over the years,
Yes,
just
sir.
let it go, man. Just shine your light and spread your wings. The motherfuckers is on the way. They just late to the party. You don't
Yo,
you don't gotta slow down for nobody and nothing at this point. Just keep evolving,
I
keep
promise
changing.
you, brother.
Yeah, like don't. If you slow down, you're gonna trip up. This is
Yes.
that point in the movie where they say don't turn back.
Don't turn back.
Yeah, this is the Salt Bay era.
Yes.
Turn back, you're gonna turn into a
Turn to
pillar
a pillar of salt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's real.
I want to show you something. I mean, this conversation is my type of conversation. Something that I am very, very much. Oh, let me just get rid of a couple of things.
I'm gonna show y'all one other machine I got. It's a literal jet pillar. I'm gonna show y'all. Hold on. Keep going. Keep going. Go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna ask you to keep going.
Now, I gotta
real quick. Yeah, because I'm pulling up stuff too. We all pulling up stuff. Real quick, just to let the people know, get the people ready, let the people know what's going on. There's a movement happening next year, 2026. It's a 1 year. I really, really want the family to know that in the era of the internet, in the era of overstimulation and people distraction, trolls, agents, something I want to say, family. There's been a discovery. Elon Musk did something with Twitter, or X as some people know it, where it shows the location of your page. What people discovered when Elon Musk implemented this is that this group of people, a lot of controversy surrounding them right now, Black Americans.
Yes.
It has been discovered because of this new feature on X that a lot of people with big pages surrounding. I need y'all to listen closely to me about how this shit works. These people got to be controlled by some egregor, because why does it happen globally? All over the world, there is pages posing as Black Americans that are not Black Americans.
Yes.
They are not Black Americans.
That's the truth.
They're from Asia, Pakistan, Nigeria, Africa, you name it. These are pages from all over talking about Black girl sauce. They're using our vernacular. They're using our images, our imagery, our culture, the way we dress, our slang, everything, whatever you want to call it. But they are not Black American, and they are creating arguments. They are creating man against woman, this against that, whatever. And you ask yourself, why the hell is the world so fixated on Black American culture?
Right.
This is not me exaggerating. This is not me trying to make us bigger than who we are. This is facts. Look it up on the internet. Since he implemented this, it has been discovered that there are thousands of pages pretending, cosplaying as Black Americans, but they're not.
That's fact.
You don't know who you're talking to on the internet, family, and there's an agenda on the internet. Everybody seems to know who we are but us.
Word.
What I am doing with this Carbon Code Collective, I talked about this with Red while we was promoting the AI workshop. Signal the noise. I'm getting away from the noise. Whatever their reasons for wanting to emulate me and my culture, whatever. I don't care. I'm not interested in that right now. What I am interested in is separating myself from those folks and those individuals. So we are going to start our own community outside of the noise, outside of people pretending to be us. And even starting this, there's going to be people that look to be a part of this who wants to pretend that, like, listen, it just don't, this is something that you got to deal with in this realm, but you have to have certain thick gates up to prevent just complete bullshit from happening.
Yep.
The Carbon Code Collective is going to go down next year, family. It's going to be a community outside of social media. I want all of y'all just to stay in tune with updates and everything. But you'll see how we went into the radionics book and showed you where MAGA comes from. This occultism, this esoteric information ain't no joke. The more it is on the internet, the more we take it as a joke. Because everything starts with us, we have to appreciate the information more. We have to understand what we're being involved in more. And right now, it being available on the internet, this shit is one big joke to a lot of us. Right. One big joke to a lot of us. So this is why the societies had more success than the people on the internet. You could give a secret society information and you could give YouTube information, and the secret society will propel 1,000 times more than the YouTube community because they take it 1,000 times more serious.
Yep.
Do you think people on YouTube take? I'm telling people about a water experiment at night. You think if I get 20,000 views, 100 people did that experiment? If I say family tonight, check this out. If I say family tonight, let's do this water experiment. We're going to write our intentions on a piece of paper. I got on a piece of paper, I wrote mine. This is something I wrote the other day. And we're going to place it under a glass of water. If I have 20,000 people who watch that video, maybe 75 people might do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
And that's a lot.
That's pretty high.
Even at 0.001% or even at a 1% conversion rate, that's a lot.
So family, so I'm more interested in quantity, not qualities these days, and I want us to really tap into our intention. That's the secret sauce, and it's going to be most powerful if we create our own community. So just be on the lookout for that, family. Please be on the lookout for that. Also, I wanted to show you this. I know Sharif want to show something. This is just one of them amazing shows. I want to show you something. I talked to Red about this on the phone yesterday. I'm like, Red, we're gonna have to. I don't know what's going on with this, Red, but this is some shit that. Hold up, give me a second.
This was one of my very first radionic devices. This one in particular, and this one came out of the OTOA. So there's a whole set of very, very ancient, what we call magical machines, and utilizing the copper mysteries that are actually radionics devices.
I got it, Sharif, and I'm gonna show it in a second. I want to show this. So this is Apple Vision Pro, Sharif. So what Apple Vision Pro and technology does is it emulates the technology of the brain and reality. So there's been an update with Apple Vision Pro where you can walk through stargates. All right. So what Spirit of Ditch essentially did was the yoni that we just talked about is sex. That's the ultimate portal. That's the portal to this dimension. So the same way this gentleman is going to create a stargate. You see, he just created it with Apple Vision Pro. We create that with the yoni, and we walk through the yoni into this dimension. So that's his home right there, right? That's his home. He has on the goggles, right? He has on a set, and he's looking at it, and he's like, oh shit, this is my home. Look at this imaginary stargate that I created. Wow. This is what we did with reality. This is the simulation of reality. We are spirit, and we're like, oh shit, look at Earth. Oh my God, this is Earth. That's the only way to get to Earth is through the yoni. So when you walk through that yoni, you go through that stargate. Right now, he's in another dimension. Let's say this is the fourth dimension. He has that stargate right there, and he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta go through that stargate to get through there." But I'm gonna be a baby again if I go through that motherfucker. So he walks through the stargate, and a whole new world. It's a whole new world. Wow. Family, we're in a simulation. We walk through a stargate. This is one of the best representations of emulations of reality that I have ever seen. With the Apple Vision Pro, this new update that they got, and they're using an M5 silicone chip, and now the technology is upgraded. And look at this shit. Look at the portal. To go back, look at it. That's crazy. Portal. That's how he gets back to his house. But that's crazy. Family, this is how this shit works. We're in a simulation. We walked through a portal, called our mama,
Yep.
courtesy of our daddy,
Yep.
gave us the spark of life, and now we're in this simulation and we think this is real. This is the same shit he's in right now. This is just as real as the shit he's in right now. We got to come back home, family. We forgot where home was at. We got so caught off by the lights, the false light. Imagine if he get caught up by the false light, he gets stuck there, and this nigga got on a goddamn mask at home, and his wife keep trying to wake him up.
Right.
Come on, man. But I had to show y'all this. I was talking to Red. I'm like, look, now he's going back. He's going back. This is what happens when we die. You know what happens when we die? Oh shit, we back home. Look, that's what we call quote unquote death. Oh, the nigga just died, family. He's back home. Uh-oh.
Back in your mansion.
He's back in his mansion. That's what we call death, and they scared us. Religion scared us. They told us we died. Nope, we're back in the mansion. We left the simulation.
Wow.
That's the simulation, and that's home. Don't ever be scared of death, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
I had to share that. Oh my God, I get that is. Listen, Sharif, man, you seen that?
That's insane, bro.
Red, we might have
so insane. It's so insane, bro.
Red, did I send you that one, Red?
Nah, you was telling me about it, but that's crazy.
Red,
that's so crazy.
That's crazy right there.
Come on, Red. Red, do you know what we could do with that technology? Man, I don't know what else to say. What's happening? We got about 20 minutes left. Then we go to get out of here.
No doubt.
This is. Give me some questions for Red and give me some questions for Red and Sharif. And I want to show Sharif's machine.
Yeah, this is the first one I ever built. You know, and again, it's based on the principles. Like if you ever seen the Circle 7.
Yeah.
And the Circle 7 has 4 gates at the cardinal points. So those gates are doorways or pathways. Each magnet with the copper wire stretching into it, right, into the ether, represents one of those doorways. And of course, it's sitting on top of Papa Legba. You see that at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
All right. Papa Legba, of course, is the crossroads. That's the major doorway.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. I can see the bolts coming off of the
Yes, sir.
Did anybody see Frankenstein on Netflix?
No.
Ooh. Yeah, that's one of those.
Yes, sir.
That device reminded me of the device they had on Frankenstein.
Right. Yeah, this is my first one.
No, that shit for being your first one, that right there, you need you need to keep building that out.
Oh yeah. You already know.
Definitely. Sharif on it. Sharif is definitely on it. Listen, y'all have to realize, and there's so many brilliant people in this realm, but y'all got to realize how important of a piece of a puzzle the brother Sharif plays in this movement. And how much I want y'all to realize how much my spirit, let me take this off the screen as I say this.
Yes,
I really want y'all to realize how much my spirit made me get in touch with Sharif. When I hesitated, when I procrastinated.
Yo, Red, you know you was the catalyst, right?
Red was the catalyst. No, facts. Red was the catalyst. He had the brother Sharif on the show, and Sharif was talking about ancient technology.
Magical machines, remember, Red?
Machines, yeah. Yep.
Magical machines.
And the message was so loud, but I chose to ignore it. I didn't ignore it. Let me not say that. I'm not going to play myself. I gave some attention to it, and I was like, okay. I kept it in my mind, and then out of nowhere, about a year later, the brother's page. I don't know who the brother is.
Right.
His video just popped up on my feed.
I can tell you who it is. My brother Sheik 7. Let's Think Podcast.
Let's Think Podcast. Shout out to. Make sure y'all go check out Let's Think Podcast.
Absolutely.
Video popped up, and I said, "Oh," and I think the topic was similar.
Yeah.
Said, "Oh, this is the brother that was." I'm saying, "Let me check." It's about 2 a.m, y'all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Let me check this out. I can't sleep. Let me check this out." And I'm just blown away by the information Sharif. I'm like, I gotta get this brother on my channel. I don't know if I got your information from Red. I don't know who I got your information from.
Yeah.
But I bought you on the show. You came on the show 2025 or 2024?
24.
24.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
Saying that to say this brother is gonna play a big role. And the more people that listen, when people find out about my brother, he's gonna be highly requested. It's already happening. The more y'all seen this interview with Billy, there's more people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Everybody who finds out about the brother is saying, hold up, who's that? The same reaction I had.
Yeah.
So do not sleep on this brother.
Brother Rich, let me just say this real quick, and Red can bear witness. We go back like 30 years plus, Red, don't we?
Wow.
Like we go back, but I was quiet. Right, Red? We go back.
I don't know if you want to make the announcement about me being your manager tonight or not. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to make the big announcement about Richfield Management taking you under our wings and whatnot, and
man.
definitely seeing, because like you said, like Rich said, there are a lot of diamonds in the rough out there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because of some of the things that have taken place over the years, it's very hard to add people to the roster just because they have good shows or they might have a good presentation. There's so much vetting that takes place right now in terms of absorbing people into the brand, right? But it was actually your patience that you spoke of, and which translates to your discipline and also your commitment, your persistence, your consistency, and some people over time, as they get older, they get what we would consider to be non-relevant, unfortunately, because their information
get time warp.
It's age, they get time warp, right? They get caught up in that time-space continuum. However, your information seems to evolve. It seems to be organic and living and whatnot. And I'm very proud of you. I'm glad that when the brother did reach out to you, similar to a tournament, you know what I mean? You win and you got the motherfucking medal. You know what I'm talking about? So you making us proud because it's just about, that's all that it's about. When you get on that floor, leave whoever you came to put on the floor on the floor.
Right. On the floor.
That's right. That's all that matters at the end of the day. We don't make life too complex.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to, just me real quick. I'm trying to improve myself. You know what I'm saying? Wise man feels his own imperfections and is humbled by them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But look, by you saying trying is not acknowledging the fact that each one of us on this stage, every day that we wake up and put our pants on with two legs,
bro.
We are in the pursuit of what they would call perfection or the road to redemption.
Yes.
What I said again, recursion. Right? You die every night, my G, and then you come back and you do it all again. I remember years and years, moons ago, Supernova had just started out his workout process. Right. And he was inviting us to the park to get it in. And he was like, we're going to get a workout in and a good one and whatnot. But then the next day we're going to break that shit. And we're going to top it. We're going to keep ripping our bodies to shreds. And we're going to go to the point of failure every time and get better the next time.
Alchemy. That's right.
And I was like, damn. Yeah, I was like, that's fire. You know what I mean? Whoever, I was like, that's a great way of looking at it, because he gave me the idea of destroying the former self in order to build a stronger, newer self.
Death, burial, and resurrection, bro.
There you have it. So people be hard on themselves because they be dying and shit. You know what I mean? People be hard on themselves because they go through these ego deaths or they go through these quote unquote. But as Scorpios, this is our natural state. This is what we do. You feel me? Like we shed our skin and whatnot, and we recreate, we rebrand, we resurrect, we reanimate ourselves. And I'm here to let anybody know who's in fear of that, or who feels that that's pretentious. That is the way of life.
The astrological sign of Scorpio in many, many, many authentic initiatory occult bodies is the door of initiation, period.
That's right.
It is the 8th door. It is the 8th house.
Right.
The house of, you already
transformation.
know. That's it, bro.
So
that is the door of initiation.
That's right. So as the person who's at the door, I'm just letting everybody know, look at this good brother as a shining example that the work is infinite, it's timeless.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, it's safe to say, it's suffice to say that you're having a new, you know, a new cycle of success.
Brother Rich, you remember what I told you earlier today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Should I tell the audience or just hold that one?
Tell us.
All right. Yo, you just said it, Red.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about switching timelines and whatever. Yo, listen. A couple months ago, I got a call from American University, Washington, D.C. They asked me to come up and lecture, which I did. You all know about that already. Bro, they got a whole class based on these 3 things. Listen to what I'm about to say, people. Ancient spiritual systems, human bioenergetics, and their intersectionality with athleticism or combat. That's my life.
That's right.
Bro, they were doing ongoing research and had some roadblocks. I did the lecture. I did one lecture and it smashed their roadblocks so badly. Bro, they offered me, well, not offered, I took it, a consulting position with an ongoing, with a publication that the university is putting out on this very topic. They wanted me to be a co-author, but it was already too late in the process. Then they offered me a research fellow position, brother. Postdoctorate work.
That's right. And you know, you deserve, not only do you deserve it, but you deserve about 5 or 6 other positions in these universities. It's time for us to rightfully take our place, especially in these institutions as they're decaying, as they decay and fall apart, right? And lose their credibility. What Yarvin calls the cathedral, right? This whole thing is an entity. This whole thing, what we call the system,
right?
All one body politic.
Right.
It's similar to the Mind Flayer and Stranger Things. So Harvard and Yale is attached to the New York Times, is attached to the Time Magazine, is attached to. That's why you see on Epstein's emails, all of these people are attached to one another.
Yes.
They're all a part of one organism.
They are.
And the organism doesn't go against the organism. It's a multi-headed hydra.
Right.
So the accreditation that people try to look inside of these institutions that are corrupt and are considered to be compromised, you know, we have to extract the funds, we have to extract the resources, and we got to get to the most precious part of the equation, and that's the minds and the hearts of these impressionable students and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Any inroads that we have, any magic keys, any skeleton keys that we have to open up any doors of any institution in order to develop curriculum, or to make our mark, I charge every single one of the scholars who come on these platforms and these stages to do it at the highest heights and the best of your ability. Make us proud.
Yeah. Brother Rich, Brother Rich and Red, you Red, what you just said, man, it's time to mash the gas, people.
Right.
We've had 500 years of somebody's foot on our neck. It's time to mash the gas, bro. They don't got the energy or the power anymore.
They're losing the footing.
That's a fact.
They're losing the footing. And if you can't see it, and if you can't feel it, and if that's not evident, then I don't know what to tell you. But them people are losing their footing. It's time to push the boot a little harder.
Yes.
And the best thing that we could do is to engage in intellectual warfare of the highest level, meaning that we have to another word, another term to go in AI research is left accelerism. Not go and look up right accelerism. That will be the far right, but look up left accelerism because we want to accelerate, right? We are living in the accelerism, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing that you could do to stop the train.
Nope.
You can't blame me for AI. You can't
Nope.
blame Billy. You can't blame Rich. No. AI came about when they created the cotton mill that helped get the cotton pickers off of the cotton field. And then that evolved into the steam engine. And then that evolved into the quote unquote factories and whatnot. Then the factories evolved into Fortune 500 companies, multinational companies. These technology evolves itself.
Right.
It went from the steel era to the glass era to the silicone era. So yeah, we're dealing with silicone intelligence versus carbon intelligence. We are carbon intelligence. The silicone is going to replace the carbon. The silicone is more efficient than the carbon. The silicone is heartless. It's cold. It has it doesn't say no kids and no women and whatnot.
Right.
I just saw a commercial yesterday with Pete Hegseth, aka Pistol Pete, who is the Secretary of the Department of War.
Right.
He said that we're in our manifest destiny of using AI as a military asset. Did you see it? Did you see the commercial where he said manifest destiny? Me and Blue Pill did a series called Magafest Destiny, and we explained what was taking place. And I also did a series called Iowas.
Woo.
Artificial intelligence artificial intelligence as weapons of solid synthetic intelligence.
Yo, I'm bugging out that you used IWAS
because when we talk about the new Aeon, right? That Crowley spoke about the new Aeon.
That's right.
And he said that he came in contact with Heru in the form of Iowa in Cairo in 1904 and whatnot. You would have to go and do the research on cybernetics. Once again, cybernetics is grown out of Crowleyism.
Yes.
CCRU is grown out of cybernetics. The Silicon Valley left and right is grown out of CCRU, hyperstition, numerograms, all of these occult practices that these people who are very clandestine and
Yo, Red, can I pause you for a second?
Well, of course.
To your point, Rich, I sent you both a picture of a book. The book is called The Magical War for Britain. And this is to Red's point that he just made. He just made this point. If you could put this up, written by Dion Fortune. This literally took place, people. Literally took place. The Allies, World War II was about the Allies versus the Axis powers, right?
Right.
And during a crucial point in World War II, where the Allies, Great Britain, United States, whatever, they weren't feeling too confident. Yep, the magical battle for Britain. Guess who they recruited? British intelligence recruited Aleister Crowley.
Right.
They sure did. And he gave 2 hand signs, quote unquote, magical hand signs to raise the morale of the British troops.
That's right.
One was a male symbol and one was a female symbol, people. If you can put the cameras back on, I'll show you the symbols and you're going to bug out.
Okay, hold up.
The thumbs up sign for the phallus and the victory sign for the yoni.
For the yoni, right.
Sure did.
Hey, Sharif, how successful, just in terms of the signs and the hands and
the hand is a miracle, brother. The hand broadcasts just like the heart broadcasts and just like the mind broadcasts.
Nobody uses their hands more than black people. Like we talk, we be like, nigga, we be like this when we talk. We go like
we are learning mathematics.
But nobody uses their hand more than man. right? when Savon Beaumont came on the show, he explained that man, the thumb. Remember, they separated us from the gorilla because of our thumb.
Because of the thumb.
Man eats, creates, builds, kills with his hand. That's how man is the hunter-gatherer. Man was the art, he was the cultivator of the soil and whatnot. He was the farmer. So only up until now, when you could speak to the AI, can you basically make a living without your hands.
Indeed.
You could dictate to the AI. You could speak to it now and create a $1 billion company.
Come on. Come on.
Hands free.
Sharif, what I wanted to ask you, my brother,
yes.
Do you think that I just was thinking about the gangs and
yes,
yeah, the gang culture and what we see with the gangs, and they be going all do you think the stacking, do you think they would have been as successful? When I mean successful, I'm not talking about in a good way. I'm just talking about as big as they have. The Bloods and Crips are known universally across the world. Do you think they would have become as big as they are without the stacking, without the sign language?
Understand, again, remember, it's just like the European Ron Eglash at Rensselaer Polytechnic College, who wrote the book. I mentioned it before on your show numerous times, African Fractals, right? We didn't have, our people, listen, our people did not have to go to a university and pick up books and read about fractals. We pulled it out of our DNA. We pulled it out of our implicate order body on the higher dimensions. It just came through us. You see what I'm saying?
You see what they be? That shit looks like art. That shit, it's like moving poetry. The way they be doing that shit, they be like this, and they be
all of it.
Yo, bro, I'm like, you see LeBron when LeBron do them handshakes during the game? LeBron be like, I'll be like, oh shit, how are you? Yo, and that's something that's distinct to us that we just do naturally. Bro. It's an amazing thing, Sharif.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there is no happenings. Law governs all events. In other words, ain't no coincidences. Ain't no, nothing haphazard. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's so if it's done, it's coming from a higher place. Now, it could be for good, it could be for bad. We all know we've done bad things for good reasons. Some of us, we all know we've become sometimes very good at being very bad. So there's a consequence that comes with being good at that. So we know that. You see what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So look at the direction many of the street organizations ended up taking once they got power. See, these are things we have to look at pragmatically, right? And I'm not going to say, it's just like our brothers in the Haitian Revolution, right? They called some things down to help them beat Napoleon, and then had a hard time controlling those things to this day.
Ooh.
See?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very, very, very interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
I think my brother Red got disconnected.
They had to open. They opened up Pandora's box.
Yep.
You feel me? They had to because the enemy that they were facing, it required of them to go code red and break that glass and whatnot. And like you said, once you get them out of the box, it's hard to put them back in.
Put them back in, man.
You know what I mean?
We all know we got friends that we don't necessarily want to call when things get back. They got the off button.
Right. And then once they put in that work, they still on the couch. You like, hey, yo, Buns.
You be like, how I get rid of this nigga?
You feel me? Like, yo, Buns, you don't got nothing to do.
He won't leave. Leave. Why did I call him?
So
listen,
you have to be careful who you summon.
That's right. I
wanna I gotta get out of here. This was we've been on here for 2 hours and 13 minutes. There's a little echo right now. I don't know where that's coming from, but check. Yeah, it's coming from Red's end. Red, is there something? There might be something on your end that when I muted Red, the echo disappeared. There might be something on your end, Red. But listen, I want to thank everybody. Yeah, this is a fire. Somebody said this is a fire class. Listen, family, stay tuned for the Carbon Code Collective 2026.
The show.
The white folks had the KKK. We got the CCC.
How about that?
Listen. They SO, and that was the SO. That's red. Damn, red is really bad on your end with the. When I unmute you, check this out, red. When I unmute you,
Is it echo or something?
when I unmute you, now I'm gonna mute you. Watch this, red. So I muted you, and then it disappeared.
Yeah.
So like I said, they had the KKK. We're gonna have the CCC.
Right.
There's not gonna be no noise. I'm not gonna let nobody litter on the ground. I'm not gonna let nobody pollute my community.
Right.
It's gonna be beautiful, and it's something that we've been waiting for. So I look forward to it. I'm thankful that the ancestors introduced me to not only Brother Sharif, but the brother Red Pill.
Likewise.
And yeah, make sure you support.
Is it still there?
Yeah, as soon as you're unmuted. Yep. We about to end though, Red. It's all good. It's all good. With that being said, we getting out here, family. I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's show. I certainly did. Sharif, Red Pill, give them one thing I want to say before we get out of here, because Sharif, so many good conversations happened within the last 2 hours. Sharif talked about Neville Goddard. One thing I want y'all to research on the internet on YouTube is The Power of Assumption by Neville Goddard. Because what you assume to be real or what's going to happen next usually happens. I'll give you an example. There's plenty of people out there where something happens. Let's say you go outside, you're trying to get to work, and you run into traffic. The average person would say, "Oh shit, go fail. Of course I'm gonna run into traffic, and I'm already trying not to be late for work." So check this out. You're trying not to be late for work. You get in the car and there's traffic. You automatically, without even forcing yourself, say, "Of course there's gonna be traffic when I try to go to work." You know what that tells me? That tells me you assume something not good is going to happen to you when something not good has already happened to you. So you think.
Right.
That's an assumption you have.
Yes.
An assumption I may have, what somebody else may have, is something may not appear to be going good for me, but something is going to change that shit in an instance. So I may think I'm going late. I'm going to be late for work. All of a sudden I get in the car and it's no traffic. Right. And I'm like, oh shit, thank you. It just so happened this was the best traffic day ever. This is your family. Remember what I showed y'all. Keep in mind with the Apple Vision Pro.
Yes.
It's just like that.
Yes.
It's just more advanced.
Yes.
But it's just like that. We got to start assuming.
It literally is just like that, brother. It literally is. It literally.
That was one of the best examples. Oh my God!
I gave you. I gave this analogy before, right? Red Pill's scarf, his kafta is what? That's olive drab green.
Mm-hmm. He's on mute, so he's on mute.
Okay, got you. It's olive drab green, not out there, in my head.
Wow.
The vibration goes to the optic nerve through the eye and then is interpreted in the brain as olive drab green, people. So when you presume, oh man, it's going to be all kinds of wild traffic, your thinking has a direct effect on your nervous system and your biochemistry. And guess what? The thought of the affliction harms worse than the affliction itself because the body doesn't know the difference.
The thought of the affliction harms more
worse than the affliction itself.
Those are bars. Did you hear those bars? Those are bars.
Yeah.
Somebody said cooking. Those are bars.
Yeah.
Leave your contact info, Sharif. Go ahead, my brother.
Catch me on Instagram, Sifu Sharif or Sharif Bey. Catch me on Facebook, Sharif Anayil Bey. And as most of you know, I answer all messages.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Indeed. Red, my brother.
How we sounding?
Sound good.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Next Friday in Atlanta, we're gonna be doing a 3-day event at Spence City headquarters. We're going to have Ross Ben. We're gonna have Ra Aku. I had the good brother Bitcoin Bully, but he had something come up where he won't be able to make it. So we're starting on Friday. It's gonna be I'm gonna be doing an AI workshop. I got my brother Hitsayu Aku. He's gonna be in the building, and my other brother Jetson Life. And then on Saturday, my good brother Spence City is gonna be doing an event where we're gonna be dealing with real estate and AI and a bunch of stuff. We're on 13 acres of our own land. We got food, we got events, we got music, DJ, all type of stuff. 3-day event in the ATL. Rich, can you drop that link if that's possible? It's in the back. Yeah, there you go.
I just yep,
So hit
just
that link, ladies and gentlemen. It's very last. I know it's last minute, but on the 19th is where we get in contact with Third Eye Atlas. And this solstice, we're using this solstice to cast our spells so we could go into the winter months charged up, and we could end this fiscal year with a W. So for all of the students who've been getting money with this crypto and this AI, this workshop is for you. We looking for the students who've been busy, who've been getting busy. We need to sit down, close the door, and get busy and sit down as a collective, form Voltron. We're launching the Imaginarium, which is going to be in January, and that is going to be my online school, and that's also going to be a community where we're going to control the ontological loop and begin to rebrand ourselves in this new Web3 / AI dominant economy, and we're going to level the fuck up. So that would, with that being said, peace, love, and light to the family. Thank you, 363 Empire. Brother Sharif, keep cooking, my good brother. We got to do something top of 2026.
Sure.
Blue Pill, KT, Mama Pill, the family, AA,
yo, bro,
and everybody.
If I get some, if I pull down some extra fiat, some extra cash, man, I might pop up.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes, sir.
We got to get Sharif down there, y'all. Let's get Sharif down in the ATL for December 19th.
Let's get the God to the. If the people really, if that's something that they want, I acquiesce to the demands of the audience, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not hard I'm not a hard person to get in touch with. Right. The Mark 125th at Gmail, and on IG Phil_Moreland. Just talk black to me, and I make things happen. You know what I mean? If anybody is requested, I make that call.
That's a fact.
Red, I might. Remember, I had to come. I gotta meet you for a second, Red. I might, if you doing this that weekend. I told you I want to do the bonfire. I might get my camera crew to come down there on because the 19th is what it is with 3 Eye Atlas. I might have a camera crew come to the location. You know, Quentin. I might have Quentin come down there, and we might really get it popping on the 19th, Red. I think and I just got that. I get these ideas. I think I'm gonna contact Quentin, Red, and I think you're on mute right now, my brother. Hold up. I think I might. You got the cigar. You got the cigar. Listen, I don't even want to tell the family. I don't even want to tell them. Well, let me tell you. Listen. Let me just. I was going to say that I'm going to Honduras tomorrow.
Dope.
Because I done ran out of cigars.
Dope.
I was just gonna. I done ran out. I'm low. Well, I got a few. Like I gotta send these out. I got a few left, but I had 10 of these. I had humidors. Red knows he's seen it, but I'm going out there tomorrow. But Red, I might really and I want the bonfire to be something big, but we might make it because I'm about 2026 family. I'm about quantity. I'm about quality, not quantity.
Right.
So I want quality. I want a quality experience. I know how to have a big turnout. Y'all know that. I made Atlanta something that's never seen before when I moved down here. And that's great. I'm gonna continue to do that. Right. But I also am interested in quality. So I'm gonna let the family know. I'm gonna talk to Quentin Red, and I might really bring a camera crew. We might really get popping on the 19th on some late notice shit. But it is what it is. And if you really want to get down with that vibration, you know what you got to do to get down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I just unmuted you, Red. Yeah.
But yeah, we got enough information to share. A lot of good news. a lot of solution based. You know, I got four different sites to show people how to monetize. Chicago Crypto was going to drop some heavy information. I don't have to talk to y'all about what the AI is out here doing. I don't have to talk to y'all about the tools that we need. Man, Spin City is sitting on 13 acres. The brother came to Invest Fest, and now he got 13 acres in Atlanta.
Dope.
Like he's managing 13 acres. Let's just say that he's but you got rich, wealthy, melanated black people, you know what I mean, who see what we're doing, and they not only do they believe it, because believe it starts with a belief. They're investing in us. So you get to wake up on land that somebody that you could look at owns the deed to. It hits differently. You don't have, nobody's telling you when to go home. You don't have to work. You know, when people be like, yo, if you get land, who's gonna protect it? A Rottweiler and a drone, and an AR-15, 14. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we're not even thinking like that. We're thinking about you need to protect yourself when you live in the projects and when you live on city-owned land. You know what I mean? Like public housing. You don't got to worry about that when you're on a farm or when you're on some acres. So we want our people to really see that. And then that's where the event is going to be taking place on sovereign land, 13 acres. We got ATVs. We got a lake. I'm going to do a live and show people what the land looks like. But yeah, we here to celebrate going into 2026. Just tangibles, y'all. Tangibles. No more speculation. This is the year of the doers.
That's right.
So for all of my doers, I'm making the call. Book yourself if you're in the ATL and you came to the ATL because you want to tap into a powerful network and solutions. Well, I'll see you on Friday, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo, real quick, I want to shout out my brother, like my brother, signed with Rock Marciano and Rock Nation. Great God. Some of y'all may know who he is. Great God. He and I have a film company, Finally Focused Films, right? We have a series that's currently being shot with 50. We already had one meeting with a sit down with 50, right? But now it's up on Tubi right now. Go look for it. It's called The Young Gods. Mm-hmm. Go look for it. That's us.
I told Sharif before the show, Sharif is a magnificent actor. He is a magnificent
I play a filthy cop, people.
Yeah, you do a great job. you do a great job, brother. Listen, family, I gotta get out of here. I got a lot to do tomorrow. We getting out of here, brother Rich, brother Sharif, Red Pillar. See you soon. Make sure you click on that link for Red Pill. Make sure you contact Sharif. And I might pull up with the camera crew next Friday and really get it popping. So stay tuned for that as well. Peace, family. Peace, light, and love. All right. All right, family. I will see y'all either this weekend or Monday, family. Have a good night. Enjoy yourselves, family. Peace.